Weiss+Associates presents Correcting Form 1099s. The federal income tax is perfectly legal within the limited territorial jurisdiction of the national government, Washington, D.C., and its U.S. territories. That's not the case when considering the constitutional republic. The reason that the federal income tax is limited in its jurisdiction and not within the constitutional republic, the 50 states of the Union, is due to the U.S. Supreme Court decision in 1895 in the Pollock v. Farmers Loan and Trust case. The federal income tax is a direct tax, and such a tax can only be applied toward American nationals, as we define this non-statutory term, by inclusion of the rule of apportionment. Otherwise, with the disregard for that requirement under Article 1, Sections 2 and 9 of the Constitution, the Supreme Court declared it would be unconstitutional. This was affirmed by President Taft in his letter to the U.S. Congress regarding the legislative intent of the 16th Amendment. The 16th Amendment, created by the U.S. Congress, excluded any inclusion of the rule of apportionment requirement, and thus, it's not applicable within the now 50 states of the Union for reason of it being unconstitutional. The federal income tax was only levied upon the national government, and there are 7 subclassifications of U.S. taxpayers to which it only applies, none of which are the American nationals born, living, and working in the private sector in the constitutional republic. Millions of Americans receive IRS Form 1099s every year from their private sector employer or others. These Form 1099s are actually Tax Class 5 information returns found under gift and estate taxes in the IRS 6209 manual. There is no requirement stated on Form 1099 for the actual creator to identify himself. The 1099s are sent to the IRS by the anonymous individual who created it. Additionally, there is no requirement for any statement on the Form 1099 that the creator is individually acting under penalties of perjury in order to prevent false claims of liability for fraud or lying to the government. Form 1099, in the eyes of the IRS, is used to make the presumption from the unknown creator to conclude that the report was prepared by one who knows for a fact that the name of the party typed on the Form 1099 is a U.S. taxpayer. Obviously, the Form 1099 is gladly accepted by the Internal Revenue Service as reported income of a U.S. taxpayer with no substance behind it. The other types of Tax Class 5 information returns include the Form W-2 and Form W-4. There is nothing substantiating that the party is actually one of the 7 variants of those who are U.S. taxpayers. What many American nationals gloss over is that they can correct the information reported on those forms and anonymously send in the corrected version to the IRS. In short, you can zero out the figures if that income is not taxable to the national government. After all, the Form 1099 is merely an information return that claims no validity as to any oath or penalty of perjury warning. It's just a piece of paper that's generic and created with no direct liability on the part of the creator or the one who corrects the presumption made on that information return. In this video, you'll see how some American nationals choose to use a blank fillable Form 1099 in order to change false information that was previously reported to the IRS in order to correct the mistakes which allowed the IRS to draw the wrong conclusion from the initial version sent to them just as anonymously. This is a perfectly lawful procedure for you. Keep in mind that no specific person signed the original 1099, nor did they affirm its accuracy with a signature or sign under penalty of perjury. Any corrected version can be filed the same way, and it's simple to do. Download a fillable Form 1099 from any source online. Then, by using the document you receive from your employer or client as a template, simply retype the information into the new file and change any information that isn't correct. If you have no taxable income from that source, you can change the number to 0. Don't forget to check the box at the top that says Corrected. Please double-check the new form for accuracy before printing it out. In our Resource Center, we have a PDF document labeled Where to Mail Your Corrected Form 1099s to acquire the mailing address of the proper IRS Service Center, which is determined by your state of residence. These corrected Form 1099s must be mailed before April 15th to cover the proper tax year just completed. The IRS should change the figures in their database. If you've received multiple 1099s, you'd be wise to mail each one in a separate envelope and keep a copy of each for your records. That's it. What this video is not is a tutorial on how to evade taxes that you're truly liable for. This is a process that can be used after one has permanently left the U.S. Tax Club via our revocation of election process. We invite you to view our video on the revocation of election process, which removes you from the U.S. Tax Club for the current tax year plus all future years. A link to that video can be found below in the show notes. Please also visit our website, Weiss+Paris.com. If you found this video informative, please give it a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for further updates. Thanks for watching.